Body's at the right angle. It needs to go down about an inch. I got enough spacers in here to raise the motor up. It looks like it's about 5 degrees. It should be 2.5, 3, but that's fine. I think I got this all pretty centered. I got about 14 inches to the ground there. Probably about 12 under here from the U-joint there to the ground. And it looks to me like this rear end is pointing down. So I need to tilt it up a little. I'm not exactly sure what I'll do, but that's the only way to rotate this rear end other than cut that axle out, and it looks like they welded it pretty good. But anyway, there's the body. You can see it's almost down flush, and about another inch on each side. This is pretty much straight here. This, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put this on or not. Probably so, but I'm going to have to cut it, probably half of it out there to clear these springs. Another project. First thing's get this all sorted out. But it looks like it's on and in and setting down the way it should. I'm clearing good here with a starter, and this firewall is going to go back about 2 inches. Now I got to figure out some way to get this Corvair stuff all figured out and put stronger springs. It looks like somebody heat them because they're bent real crooked. Good stuff. And here's a thing I put in, a steering column that I got with it. This has got all of the turn signals and all that stuff. It's hitting over here. I had a couple Ford wheels. I had them on that little Ranchero, and I painted them, and so they look pretty good. I'll measure it, go lock to lock, make sure I got the right amount, but I think I need to cut about an inch out of this one, and I need to put about an inch in this one. Anyway, once I get all of this figured out exactly, and I know it'll work, and then I can make my brackets. Mufflers, they're welded onto the flange, so I'm going to have to cut them. But my buddy gave me some Harley mufflers, and I just wired them on up under there, or tied them on. I've got it all jacked up real high, and I got a clamp pretty good along here. Looks alright over there on that side. Got me a couple lights. I don't know, these off 56 Buick or something. Now they're too big to go this way, but I think they'll look real nice in here. I got two of them. They're kind of pitted and chewed up, kind of rat rod style, but that's alright. Kind of final product. Cut all that bottom off, and I wound up raising the motor a little bit more, but I used 3 passes on both sides there. It just welded on the top right now. If this is going to show us or not, but it's almost bottomed out. Left. These Corvair springs are collapsed. I ordered some new ones. Here we have another conglomeration. I got this motor mount all in and welded up, and I had really bad toe in and bump steer. Then I discovered that this here has to be kind of level with this bottom swing arm bolt, and you can see I got not very much. This is 4 inches, so I got a little less than 4 inches to the ground. And this is with a suspension all the way down. So now I'm going to check to see how bad the toe in. It was, well, here it is, welded in. I got it centered with the lower A-frame pivot points, and welded a couple brackets there, and then braced them into the frame. I only got a couple inches there from all the way up to all the way down. Got a 1/2 inch toe in change. I'll have to put me an extra Heim joint in that steering rod down there, because it interferes here on top of the starter. It's just too tight, so I'll have to put one down in the bottom and another one up here on top. Rust-Oleum. That looks good. So another good lick. And here I yanked the old 2-barrel manifold off. This is I got the manifold with part of the deal for the car. Bought a couple Edelbrocks. They're not too bad. They look pretty good. And a little cheap air cleaner. Starting to look like a Zoomer now compared to that old 2-barrel. Here's Nasir with her little brush painting the motor. Got the pin off, didn't look too bad. I scraped out. I sprayed a lot of engine degreaser in there, so at least the camshaft's got a little oil on it of some sort. Here's another step in the saga. I started putting this brake together. Didn't have an anchor pin, so I put a bolt in it, and then realized that this has got a mount. So what I did is turn down me a piece of steel that'll fit in there, and then I'm going to have to weld that to the bolt and turn the rest of it for a clip. So next little step, and I still don't have these presser things here either. I'll have to try to make them. Well, I got my grill shell and radiator. This is a 32, it's a real long one. Got it set in here, and I got my little headlight stands that I bought with the project. They don't fit this frame, you can see there. I think I'm going to cut them off. And I've got this jacked up to right there at the bottom of that aluminum mount. is just a little higher than the bracket for the steering rack. And I do have a problem down in here. You see there, I couldn't get nothing but a Chevy radiator. Got the outlet on that side, and it's real close to my steering bracket, but I'm going to have to cut that up a little and probably cut that outlet and move it over to the left a little bit. So I got about an inch there. I set the radiator, but that's the only way I could get it low enough. And I'm probably going to cut it off. Right here's the bottom. So I'll probably cut it right through here. And if I raise it up anymore, it's going to be kind of weird looking. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut these headlights off here. They just welded them onto the bar. Some clown. Cut them apart and just try a light with only a stand. And that'll be the next little project I take on here. Well, there's the other one down. Looks like my camber's good here. Still, this one's really flopped in. Well, we'll worry about that. This one ain't too bad. But both my tie rod ends are straight. Well, moving along here. Nastia came along and painted this all with the flat back black Rust-Oleum. Looks good. It's kind of messy right now, but I cut up some plywood, made myself a transmission tunnel. I got a gas pedal and a brake in there. I got to move them around. But here's the brake. It took quite a while to do that. I got a big plate out here, and that'll squeeze into the big bracket inside, and that should do the brakes. And then a bunch more parts came, and so I got my little progressive linkage here. That works good. Sets up this carburetor. It'll open first and then get the second one. I still got quite a bit of stuff to do with that. Here, of course, we've got the frame all painted again. Now to clean this all up. Anyway, I replaced it with these good springs. It might have been in another video. But then what I did was the camera was out real bad, so I put a porta power across there from the tops of these shock towers. Spread it out good, and I've got about 0 camber in it right now on both wheels. And straightening out that gap in the frame made this place down here where I was touching the frame open up. Put starter back on. It's all painted flat black. Alright, got all them drilled, and ta-da, falls right out. You can take that, clean it up. That shows you where my firewall is now. I can get to it real easy. Should have done that before I put the brakes in. I was trying to look at some kind of cross channel up in here, hoping this 1-inch stuff would fit. like it would fit over here. Not here. Anyway, I think I would put something right across that bottom brace there, all the way across, and then drop it from there straight down and bolt it, make a tab and bolt it there where I'm bolting it to the frame. Anyway, got a guy who has a bunch of steel. He's bringing me some steel. Move on from there, and then that'll be plenty big to brace that brake. Anyway, I'll go over here and cut me a piece here. Continue trying to brace up this main brace across the frame, and still this is up at an angle. But what I'm going to try to do right now is weld that piece that's below that 1-inch iron. I know you can't really see it. See, there's an angle iron under there and on the outside. Now I'll fold around and fold around. It looks like if I put another joint right here in the middle, I can use this one, put a U-joint right there, and then my last one will go into there. And I have to put one Heim joint right here in the middle to hold that. Oh, there's my 3/4 inch smooth bad boy. Looks like I've got pretty good angles here. And just mark this and cut it off. And put my other little adapter I made here in there. You can weld that because this is machined. I can pull that apart. So that's the thing. Mark it and cut it. Well, here we go. Steering's in and pretty tight. Got a couple bolts there to the floorboard. Mark my foot here. The gas pedal's way too high, but I just put it in for now. Probably about like that would be plenty good. And I got enough room here to get onto the brake. Not hit anything. So anyway, I'll adjust this. I need that a lot closer to the floor. But anyway, I can get out. I got a hell of a lot of room there, enough to get in and out of. And this all turned out to be nice and straight. It's all the way. It needs to have more toe in at this point, so I won't have to cut anything. I was able just to screw this one out, and I'll rethread that one. You don't want to have to do anything with that. So it's steerable and drivable. Now I have to finish up those brakes, brace that or whatever tomorrow when I feel better. Anyway, here it is. I have to fabricate me some kind of little metal tunnel there, and I'll finish bolting that floor down. Well, there it is. Motor's all buttoned up. Manifolds all torqued down. Heads are torqued. Both valve covers are on. Kind of admiring this black rust converter. Made a very interesting look here. definitely looks like a old rusty car. Well, that's what it is, an old rusty car. Well, here we go at the end of the day. Got this one welded, ground off pretty good. Welded my plate in there a few times. Got this one kind of tacked in. This side is all been welded up. I only ground it right there on the top. Got tired. It's the installation of the bucket, and I found out that this is a 1914. My wife was cleaning up the numbers here and discovered the serial number. Where is it? Right there. 18569. And it looks like 1914. It's 1916 was 90,000. So this is probably a 1914, late 1914 steel body. Well, I set up this tank and stuff in here. I made me a box there the size of the battery, and I've got this pretty much level and mounted where it's supposed to go. Now all I got to do is make a battery box, and got the tank level so it'll drain properly. Still got a bunch of work to do in here, but moving along. It's welded on and starting to put the parts together. Well, I mounted my headlights here. I just welded them down here to the frame instead of trying to bolt them. I didn't weld them real strong or anything. It's only strong enough for a headlight bar. I just cleaned it up a little and bolted it on. But another step in the saga. I'm gonna have to start thinking about my radiator hoses and mounting this radiator in a little better. Fan belts and alternator. Well, here I split this one and put it where I want it to go, and I've just clamped it down right now because it's so easy to bend. And I'm going to tack these, and then I have to cut a few more to get around this little curve here and move along with this one. Well, there we go. Got two 90s off of something, and they bolted in. I had a piece of old fence here. They just happened to fit inside there. And I screwed up. I put this one dead flush. I put this one a little low, but that's just a rut rod. Not like it's going to be any kind of custom deal. That'd be a major problem if I had to add Bondo across that whole thing. But good enough for now. Got to grind it down. It looks pretty straight. I got to raise that side up a little. Take it off and do a little hammering and bending on that. I fooled around with 2 or 3 different things here, but it looks like I took the rack off and just put it on upside down here, and I'm real close, and I'm sure if I got another brace that goes down the middle, I'm sure if I just clamp it real good and tack weld it and keep on pressing it, I'll be able to weld this all up into one piece. It's not that much of a bend. Well, right there was another major project. Ordered this drive line from Speedway, and I got it, and luckily it was exactly the right length. Both U-joints were wrong, but what I did, I machined a spacer. You can kind of see it there on the inside. And adapt it between the yoke and the U-joint, and then I drilled it. No way to put snap rings in it. Drilled it, put a lock bolt in it, and then I glued it. JV weld on that end. Well, here we go. You can see here where I welded it. Not too good, not too bad. And I got the weld over there. But it's in, and bolts are all good on it. Starting to kind of look like a car now. Amazing how little that windshield is compared to how big the tires are. Just remarking that it's probably made to go 20 miles an hour. Here you got 10 times as big of a tire on it. Now here's the next part of the project, is hanging some fuel lines, transmission lines, and I got them all in here and pretty much cut. There's the gas line laying there on the ground. You can see my two transmission lines sticking out right here. I need to cut them and flare them to fit that hose. Flare tool will work good. And I need two flare nuts here, and a couple males down here for this, I think. I'm not sure what I need. I'll figure it out. I'll have to look at that radiator. But that's it. Fluids, transmission fluid, gasoline, and transmission cooler. I don't know if I recorded that, but my fuel gauge goes in, stops on the hole. Everything fits. Don't like to look at those. Got a silver gauge, and a black one. So I think I'm going to paint that one silver. Paint this ring I just made black. So that'll give me 3 silver over black, which will look a little better than that, because that looks pretty bad. Yeah, put a little more focus in it. Weed whacker or something. We got fire in the hole anyway. But I got all kinds of vacuum leaks, everything. Anyway, we got some fire, and it kicked and shot flame out, backed out of the carburetor. I'm sure the timing's way off. Alright, we got some fuel lines here. I soldered together a fitting, then I found the flare fitting that goes in that carburetor. Anyway, long story. Got the fuel line ran properly. I started working on my transmission lines. I got them out here. I'm about ready to cut them. I got go in here and hook up my flare fittings. And once I get that radiator on and mounted, then I can pour my transmission fluid in it and be one step closer. The primary shows good, but they're not sparking. This one's sparking enough to shock you, but not enough to start anything. So my attempt to fire it up ended with bad coil. But I got the fuel tank in, and tail lights. I'm at the point now where once it starts, I can just start mounting this stuff. This fuel pump here, I don't know what I'll do with it. I thought this was the fuel inlet, but this is a rollover valve here. This is actually the one that's got the fuel in it. This thing could turn around. I might have that tank in backwards. I think I'd rather have the fill side on this side over here. It don't really make any difference. A couple inches. It'll just move that from way back here in the back to the front if I rotate it around. Anyway, end of another day here. Got a lot done. I was kind of hoping it would start. But no cigar. Well, bonehead mistake. I put the firing order on here clockwise. Old Ford hangover. Distributor turns counterclockwise. Chevy style. So anyway, I redid the wires. Probably fire right up now. So everything's in. I got gas. Got the pumps.
That was pretty good. Start like nobody's business, huh?
Well, fired up with no trouble. Had a little valve rattling in it. Was running 40 pounds of oil. Of course, all my mufflers and gaskets and stuff are loose over here. And I got wires laying on the pipe. I didn't run it very long, but oh, and I was running on 7 cylinders. Yeah, let's, I don't know if it's idle or not. That's better. Well, we'll give it a go here. Fuel pumps on. Got fuel. Yeah, lifter's quit making noise.
Cooking good.
Looks like it's actually even idling. But the lifters were ticking when I first started it, and they calmed down. I don't really want to run it much more than this because it don't have any water in it. Sounds good though. Look on. Working. Oh. Bump. 2 bumps. Well, motor doing its thing. I'm gonna mount this tank in here. I got some of this all thread. What I'm gonna do is screw that right in there. Well, they're kind of in and bolted. I haven't drilled this one yet, but that's where it'll go. I can open it up. Got a little pressure right in there. I have to tighten the hinges while it's up. And bring it down and lock it. It's really good here on the sides. It looks like it might need to move that way to the left just a little bit. But that's, as you can see, kind of pretty easy to do. I can probably adjust this striker here so it'll pull it over all the way to the left. Anyway, it's on and real straight. There's my deck link hinges, 99% done. Well, here they are on. This one cracked, but it don't look too bad. Turned out that I had to grind off so they put that orange reflector in there. It was see, there's 3 places here where it has little tabs, and they just stuck it through and glued it, and the tabs were sticking out so far I couldn't get the ring on, so I had to cut that up. Anyway, finally got them on. Black is ground, green is low beam, red's high beam, and the other little red one is my turn signal. Basically trying to do all my wiring. I've got this front part pretty much all put together. I sorted out the thermostat business. Turned out that I couldn't find anything fit the hole down there in the radiator, and it was supposed to be the thermostat. I mean the fan switch. Got this all in. Of course, my wife decided to decorate it. And moving along on wiring everything. got my fuel gauge in, it works. Everything works with the key switch on, and fan all works good. Just moves along real slow, but we'll just keep on pressing here. I've got to put in my neutral switch, safety switch, and some other stuff, so slowly poking along. Just continue. It doesn't look like much gets done, but every day you can see there's less and less wires. I'm not sure where I left off, but I got this all wired, all the fuel pump in, rack done. I found this kind of cool old light, put my hydromatic emblem on it, and 2 tail lights, seat and juice car thing. Moving across to this side, it's pretty rusty, dirty. I'll try to clean this up as I go, but I'm going to run my brake line here under my oil filter. The way I put the oil filter in solid there, they look pretty good, so I'll be able to hopefully make some brake lines without any leaks, and give this whole thing a hydraulic test today. Well, here's my last bracket welded in here, and just have to hook my hose in here, tighten it all up, and the front end will be done. Well, here's the end of another day. Got all my radiator leaks stopped, water leaks. Need to tighten that up. All the gears are working. Still have to put oil in it, transmission fluid. Everything's turning here good. Brakes are stopping it. Forward and reverse. It's pretty much done. I just have to finalize this. Anyway, I need this wire just hanging here, touch the manifold on the hoses, so I need to run that good and hook that up. And I was thinking my water pump was probably running a little slow because of that loose fan belt. I got it full of water again. Got the leak plugged down there. All this stuff here shouldn't leak. I probably still have a little bit left there in that thermostat housing. But anyway, this will be running that with the alternator now, and I tightened this all up in here. Tried to anyway. I don't know if I fixed that oil leak or not. I just wiped it all off so I can see what's going on. And looks like that deal I did to the filter fixed it, stopped it from leaking. So I'm about ready to wire this thing up here and fire it up, let it warm up, and see what we got. Well, there we go. Steering's in. See the tachometer good enough. See the fuel level, oil, speedometer close enough. Unfortunately, right in the middle of my, right here is eye level. I got my turn signal indicators not really showing up. lower my head a little, but this is my normal vision. I can see them a little over it. So that was probably not a good place to put them. Out. And there's a steering wheel and gauges and stuff. It's all pretty much put in there. I've got to do a little bit more on the steering linkage down there and weld a piece. And just cleaning up my wires there. Final mounting on that thing. But it's ready to run and drive. I need to get a windshield in it. Still waiting on carburetor kits, but we're close to the home stretch. Moving along here, I got my seat belts in. Got them bolted through a big plate here. Here I took a bracket, run it behind it, and I don't know if you can see in there, but I welded it to this floorboard brace on both sides. Probably not the best setup in the whole world, but it's pretty strong. Both seat belts are in, and I replaced this rear line here. I got a new line. That old one was leaking, and I ran it up there. I decided not to use those emergency brake cables. I'm just gonna get them up there and zip tie them to the frame and cut the cable so I don't have all that junk hanging down up there. Basically, I get those carburetors dialed in a little bit, put the wheels on it, I'll be ready to go drive this thing. Well, here the back bend is. Got it tracked on there real good. Got a couple little dents, one right there in particular. But basically, not bad. And I welded through my stuff in a few places. But I'm gonna patch that up. I'm not gonna try to grind it all smooth or anything. I'm just gonna kind of leave the weld marks in it, and looks a little more complete now. Yeah, moving along. Well, here's the final. Everything's on it. I still got a lot of loose stuff, but down on the ground, fires up, everything shifts good, brakes work. So got tires on it. All I'm going to do now is just drive it back and forth and see what it does. Alright, here's a first test drive. Not going to be much, just back and forth. and drives.
Success! What do you think?
Yeah, brakes need adjusting, but got plenty of power to spin tires, both of them. Yeah, the smoked tire is good here on the pavement. And I can't tell, I think it's both of them.
Yep, both.
Huh?
These two. You can see the marks.
Anyway, feels pretty good. Solid, no twisting. I have to drive it around a little and get the brakes to work right. But looks like a success. I was going to film it, but I forgot. Went out, took it for a ride. Shifting 1, 2, 3, 4. The low range is keeping it in first and second. High range is still going up into no engine braking, and you can't go into that mode and then pull it down into a lower gear. So you kind of have to start out in that. I haven't quite figured it all out, but it's shifting 1, 2, 3, 4. Third and fourth is kind of a long, drawn-out process, but it's moving pretty good. I haven't really paid much attention to speed or anything. It'll burn the tires all the way through first and second. And I don't know what's happening to that long shift, you know, jumping on it to get it to shift. Just pull the top over it. I've got a Roadrunner coming in here in the next few days, and I need to have the space. So I'll put it over there on the other side of the trailer and tarp it up good. And I'll work once I get the Roadrunner in here when she goes to work, and then if I have to work on this, I'll work at it right over there behind where the Lexus is. I got these stickers. They're about a foot big. Put them on the door. They don't look too bad. Finished cleaning up my wheels there. I need to do something about them. But I did a chrome smoothie. Finding stuff for 13-inch wheels though is kind of difficult. I need a tire, at least one on the other side. It'd be better if I had them both. But the stickers don't look too bad. Need a couple more. Need a moon eyes down there on the bottom, and a couple more stickers. Yeah, it doesn't look like what I thought it would. Sort of thought it was going to look kind of like old paint, but it don't. Anyway, running good, idle's good. Like carburetor's working. They're a little too rich when I jump on it, but and then I over revved it. Lifter started ticking, so I need to do something about that. Try not to over rev it. It's so easy to do that. This thing spins the tires and you can't really tell.